I'm telling you, CONCACAF football and CONMEBOL football, it's the novella that keeps on giving indeed. And we love it. That's why we have Football Americas. UEFA has nothing on the Americas, right? All right, well, let's move on specifically now to Argentina because believe it or not, they were the ones that won this game and they won it so convincingly, Gustavo. I know you probably had to close your eyes a couple of times, but we know Argentina have always been the top rivals for Brazil. But looking at this performance, how they dismantled Brazil, how, as you said, it could have been more than just the 4 goals, really and truly, had Argentina not wasted 1 or 2 extra chances there. Could this be one of the best, if not the best performances you have seen from Argentina under Scaloni?
It's one of the best performances for sure under Scaloni, as Shaka said, because they didn't have Messi. So that's. I think that this is the main point for Argentina. They need to play. They need to learn to play without Messi. Messi won't be there forever. So they are learning that. They are really learning that. And we have also to remember that they didn't also have Lautaro Martinez, who has been the second best Argentinian in the season after Julian Álvarez, who's playing a brilliant season for Atlético de Madrid. I think that Argentina is really learning to play without its main star, its main player. They have a very good group of players, and they have a manager who's working there for a long time. He really knows the players, he knows everybody, he knows how to bring a new player as Juliano Simeone, for example. So I think that Argentina now, they have proven themselves on the pitch. So now they are the best team. I think that France also has a brilliant group of players. Portugal also has a very good group of players. We need to talk about the best European teams, but I think that Argentina, for what they have proven on the pitch, they are the best team now.
Yeah, Shaka, I don't think there's many people that will argue against that. There's a reason why they are world defending champions right now, and they're going into another World Cup in a year's time, still looking like the favorites to win it all. Just on what Gustavo said, that Argentina needed to learn to play without Messi. That was something that they were even trying to learn at the World Cup, yet still so many times we kept seeing them look for him, look for his magic. But then you take him out of the equation, and it's a conversation we have about Inter Miami as well. When you're not so dependent on him, you tend to have to look within yourself and your teammates to find that solution. So are Argentina really that better without Messi?
Well, you have Messi every single day of the week. And twice on Sundays, no question, if he's available to you. And you're right, Alexis. I think in the past we've questioned whether this Argentina team could perform without Lionel Messi. At times they struggled to perform with him. Such was, as talented a squad as it was, but such was those players' inability to really step up. And listen, I get it. You have a player like Lionel Messi who does things with the ball that few people have ever been able to do. You want to get the ball to him. You want to see him work his magic. And oftentimes, very talented players kind of take a backseat without recognizing it. And then, as we discussed, the penny kind of dropped with Argentina. And a lot of those players stepped up and have shown their true worth. About this time last week, we were talking on FC, ESPN FC, about Argentina's chances to win the World Cup again. And it came down to what version of Lionel Messi will we see in 12 months' time? Because while right now, I don't think there's any questioning he's still one of the best players on the planet, he's at that age where you're never quite sure how good he's going to be in a year's time. Yeah. Now, all of a sudden, this performance has us kind of questioning that take, that Argentina's ability to win a World Cup is dependent on Lionel Messi in 12 months' time. This version of Argentina looks good, especially when you compare it to a lot of the European big boys that you expect to be in the latter stages of the tournament. This version of Argentina absolutely can. If they keep this up, that is the big if.
Well, I have an interesting question to ask, and it's even more interesting that who I'm going to ask it to, which is now Gustavo. And you may have a little chuckle at this, but I want to talk about something that Rodrigo de Paul said after this game. Rodrigo de Paul, again, someone that you follow very closely at Atletico de Madrid, but he talked about Argentina not getting enough respect on the world stage, and the fact that, you know, he likened it to what happened at the Copa America after they won it, and then, you know, all of the, I suppose, adulations went towards James Rodriguez and Colombia and the kind of fight that they did instead of exactly what Argentina were able to accomplish. And now after this game too, do you feel like Argentina don't get enough respect, or this Argentina does not get enough respect?
Well, Argentina over the last match didn't really exactly have the best results. We have to say also that against Brazil, they were brilliant. They also got an incredible win against Uruguay, but the match before they didn't have the best performance at all. So I think that these both matches, specifically the match against Brazil, gives them back the confidence from the world. I think that the world now sees Argentina again as the best team. But maybe the poll is a little bit right, talking about how people look to European squads and South American squads. Maybe people still look much better for European squads than South American squads. I think that has a little bit of this kind of feeling. You know what South Americans feeling. People look much more to European football. They don't see us. They don't see our teams. I think that it has a little bit of this kind of feeling, talking as a Brazilian also.
All right. Well, like I said, there's nothing quite like football in the Americas, especially South America. It's the novela that keeps on giving. And this matchup specifically, Brazil-Argentina, had all that you would want from a rivalry, including the trash talk. And I love me some trash talk. We have to talk about our boy Rafinha, because he had some choice words to say before this game that came back to haunt him. Let's have a listen.
Contra a Argentina, nosso maior rival. E agora, graças a Deus, sem o Messi. Porrada neles?
Porrada neles, sem dúvida. Porrada neles.
Vai pra dentro com tudo?
No campo e fora do campo, se tiver que ser.
E pra finalizar, vai fazer a porra do gol contra a Argentina?
Vou.
Com tudo?
Com tudo.
Foda-se eles?
Foda-se eles.
É isso.
Now, if I'm speaking to the legend that is Romario too, I'd want to make him know that the football for my country is in very good hands. But, Gustavo, let me start with you on this one, because those are some words that definitely have come back to haunt specifically Rafinha and Brazil. How was that interview, I suppose, received in Brazil, and then any of the after reaction now that Argentina clearly did all their talking on the pitch?
Yeah, Alex and Chaka and fans, I have to say that the choice of words in the translation for English is light, okay? The words, yes. The words spoken by Rafinha are worse than what you have read, okay? Much worse.
Spicy.
Yes, it was a heavy trash talk by Rafinha. He was taken into the situation by Romario, because he went to the Romario show in YouTube, and they were like two players in the locker room. Chaka knows that, talking about football against Argentina, and Romario doesn't have anything more with the Brazilian team. He was talking anything that he wanted. And Rafinha, I think that was taken into the situation. It was not a good situation. I think that what Rafinha has said, you don't say before a match, especially against Argentina. You just don't say that. Win the match. Then you say anything. So the Argentinian players said that right after this interview, they were changing messages. Did you see what Rafinha said? So I think that the reaction of the Argentinian players show how they felt about what Rafinha said.
Well, Chaka, I am nothing if not dramatic, and you know this. And this is one of the biggest rivalries in not just in South American football, but in world football. So I love a bit of trash talk. It adds a little incentive to there. And someone like Julian Alvarez even came out after the game, and he's usually very humble, head down, still young, finding his way, even though he's won everything there is to win. Even he said, you know what, it did add a little incentive for us to go out there and put out the performance that we did. But do you think the trash talk was necessary? Do you kind of accept it because this is one of the biggest rivalries the game gives us?
Well, first of all, Romario asks a question and Rafinha answers. Oh, they have a conversation about it. And truth be told, Rafinha only says what he can at that point. In speaking to somebody like Romario, in speaking to Brazilian TV or fans, however it's broadcast, you have to portray this picture about who you are. We are going to win. You can't sit on the fence, especially when it's up against a rival like Argentina. The rule of thumb as a player, though, is you do not give the opponent any reason to be extra motivated, to be angry, to have something to go on. So Romario shouldn't be asking those questions. He shouldn't be providing that fodder for Argentina to go on. So I blame him primarily here. And then from an Argentinian perspective, absolutely. You hear somebody say that, you are taking this personally. And especially at national team level, it's not just about you as a team, it's about the country and your family and everything, and you kind of get yourself all revved up around it. So you use that. So I understand the Argentina reaction, absolutely. That happens every single time. I more put the blame, not necessarily at Rafinha. He could only say what Brazilian fans would expect him to. But Romario knows this landscape. He knows what players are like. He knows what opponents are like. He shouldn't have just teed up that alley-oop for Argentina in the way that he did.
I don't know. I kind of liked Romario's question, but that's just me. You know I'm here for the trash talk. Well, someone who probably wasn't there for the trash talk is Lionel Scaloni. He also weighed in on all the antics that involved Rafinha after the game. Let's have a listen to that.
Yo entiendo la situación, entiendo, es un Brasil-Argentina y no hace falta hacer declaraciones para que el partido sea así. O sea que no fue por eso que jugamos así, para nada. Al contrario, y lo disculpo a Rafinha porque sé que no lo hizo a propósito, defiende a su selección, a su equipo, y me parece que tampoco, lógicamente, después le damos importancia porque preferimos que el partido sea caliente, pero para nada. Argentina al final, con declaraciones o sin declaraciones, íbamos a jugar nuestro partido y ellos también. La evaluación, bueno, positiva, no solo porque se ganó, sino por cómo afrontamos los partidos. En Uruguay, en dificultad, los primeros 20-25 minutos supimos no volvernos locos, sabiendo que el partido estaba así. Y después lo pudimos llevar a nuestro terreno. Y el segundo partido, bueno, que se jugó acá muy completo. Y no sé si es el mejor partido. Creo que la selección ha hecho muy buenos partidos y lo que pasa es que, claro, el rival hace que parezca aún más, y con nuestra gente, y eso es lo lindo, pero hemos jugado partidos muy buenos y de este nivel.
Uno trata de abstenerse de esas cosas porque quiere demostrarlo dentro del campo. Quizás fue algo... No sé, él dijo que dentro del campo se lo tradujeron mal.
¿Les dijo eso? ¿Les explicó?
Sí, dijo eso, pero...
¿Nació de él o se lo preguntaron ustedes?
No, nació de él. Un poco ahí a la pasada dijo eso, pero nada, hoy demostramos de que hablamos dentro del campo.
¿De alguna manera les pidió disculpas, digamos? Como...
No estaba en ese momento, pero escuché a alguno que dijo de que como que se lo tradujeron mal en el portugués y demás. Pero bueno, ya está, se ganó.
All right, guys. Well, let's find out if you're cool with it. Now, we talk about what Rafinha said and how it probably wasn't in the best taste, but Emi Martinez, we know he's known for his antics, Shaka, as we saw some in the highlights where he was juggling right here. By then, Argentina had pretty much won the game. But what do you make of this, Shaka? His showboating that obviously Scaloni took issue to.
Yeah, let me just say, well, if it were me, it's not something I would ever do. It goes against my personality. It goes against my outlook on the game. All that being said, all you can ever ask of players, goalkeepers alike, is to be who you are. And the one thing that Dibu Martinez has always been is who he is, or he's always shown who he is. If those antics, that edginess makes him the goalkeeper that he is, then absolutely, that's the Emi Martinez I want showing up day in, day out. So I'm sitting on the fence a little in that, but I don't think you can question that Emi Martinez is a World Cup winner. Emi Martinez has established himself as one of the best goalkeepers in world football today. And if this is how he expresses his personality, I'll take this version of him.
Shaka, our producer is suggesting that you wouldn't do that because you can't juggle.
There's that too.
Shaka, don't give in.
Our producer will never know. You see, now he will never know because I'll never juggle.
I was going to say, next time we're on set, we're going to bring a ball and you're going to show them, Shaka.
No, we're not.
Show them.
No, we're not.
Shaka, you know what? Just for this, I'm going to learn to juggle. I'm going to learn to juggle. Well, Gustavo, just quick one, too, on the Emi Martinez thing. I guess he doesn't have any more fans in Brazil after this, too.
That's his personality. We could expect that from Emi Martinez. Of course, that there's always the next match. There's always a next match, and you're doing that against Brazil. Brazil will be back. Of course, that Brazil will be back. So when something like that happens against him, he has to know how to deal also.
Yes, indeed. Well, Gustavo Hoffman, we want to thank you so much. It's 2:10 a.m. in Madrid, but you've been hanging with us to talk about Brazil. We hope you can join us again soon. And this time, I personally am hoping it's for good stuff about Brazil, because something tells me that this lead-in to the World Cup is going to be a juicy one. Thank you, Gustavo. Muito obrigada.
Thank you. Muito obrigado. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Shaka. In around 8 or 9 hours, I'm going to be in the press conference of Carlo Ancelotti. Let's see if he says something about Brazil.
Oh, we cannot wait for that one. Definitely check out more from Gustavo Hoffman on our ESPN Brazil channels. He is everywhere. Well, Argentina had to play without their talisman in Lionel Messi, but trust me, he was not far away from them, at least in spirit. Here is his Instagram story of him watching the game. All right, well, here are the CONMEBOL World Cup qualifying standings. As you can see, Brazil not really too threatened, as Shaka hinted. They are in 4th place. Argentina, the first team from South America to qualify already for the World Cup. They're just ahead of Ecuador. Uruguay, who had an interesting draw with Bolivia. I'm sure a couple other countries are very happy for that. And then Brazil and Paraguay rounding out the top 5.